All right, we're good now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dawn Lyons, and I'm so excited to be here today. We have some very special people on our Zoom call today. First and foremost, we have Dr. Ivan Misner, who is the founder of BNI, co-founder of Ascentive, Chief Visionary Officer, and so many more titles. We also have to my right, Mr. Mike Macedonio, New York Times best-selling author, co-founder with Ascentive, BNI Executive Director. And then we have a very special guest today, Miss Letitia Hanke. And you are actually going to be hearing about all of her successes and her journey today. So we're doing this special interview because when you watch all the way to the end, you're going to hear some pretty exciting news about something that is going to be happening for Letitia, but we're not going to tell you just yet, so you keep listening. So what I'd like to do is actually we're going to start off with Dr. Ivan Misner. And Ivan, I know that you want to kind of see who Letitia is and find out more about her, so why don't you start off this interview?
I would love to. I'd like to get to know more about you, Letitia. And I want to start by asking you, how did you get into the roofing industry? Because I got to tell you, you don't look like any roofer I've ever met.
Well, I've actually known that I wanted to be a roofer since I was 9 years old.
No.
No, I'm kidding. No,
oh, okay.
That's not true.
Well,
it's not true at all.
I bought it for a second.
I try. No, I was in school. I'm a musician. So when I went to college, I started off in the music department, but I was a starving student, not making any money, working 3 jobs, going to school full time and gigging on the weekends. And I said, let me just get one good job. And I started working for a roofing company. I was about 19 years old at that time, and I was the receptionist. And my boss decided to fire his office manager, and he promoted me to the office manager. And over about 4 years, I went from the office manager to the manager, field supervisor. And then my boss decided he wanted to retire. And he's like, I want you to buy my company. And I'm like, I'm not a roofer. I don't know roofing. And he said, I'll teach you. And I learned how to roof for 4 years and then started my own company in 2004.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's a great story. And most people don't know this, but I actually owned a trucking company at one time.
Really? Ugh.
And I have no idea how to drive an 18-wheeler. Couldn't drive.
You didn't learn?
No, I never learned it. I was the back of the office guy and the contracts guy. So I feel a little bit of you there, but
yes.
But it sounds like you learned it. I didn't. So
yes.
Tell me about your connection with BNI. How did you get started in BNI?
BNI, well, it all started with some stalkers. I had people, seriously, I had a gentleman named Bart who would ask me every time he would see me for 1.5 years if I would come as a visitor. And I'm not going to lie to you, I made every excuse that I could make. I mean, I really did. One that was actually the truth was that my son went to school up further where I lived, and I had to drive him to school every day. Yeah. So this one Friday, and this BNI group was on a Friday specifically, he calls me on Thursday. He says, oh, tomorrow's a holiday for kids, right? I said, yes. And he said, well, why don't you come and check it out? And I went, and I've never left since. I mean, that was 8 years ago almost. And so wow. I came there and fell in love with the people, the process, and I'll be in BNI as long as I can possibly be in BNI.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's a great story. Mike, over to you.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Letitia.
Sure.
Here you are, a single mom, and you're starting a new business and trying to build a contractor business here in Northern California. Was there a moment that you had this turning point, or things shifted for you where you knew, I'm going to succeed, I'm going to make this?
Yeah, it was a difficult start for me in the beginning, coming into construction industry as a female, but not only a female, an African-American female. There were some challenges that I was facing in many ways. And so I needed some assistance. And when I joined BNI, there was a program that I started going to, the Certified Networker program. And I learned so much from my coaches, Mike and Don, Mickey. Number one, learning about delegating. Delegating was one of the biggest issues for me because I've been this person is like, if it's going to get done right, it has to be me. I've got to do it if it's going to get right, be done right. So I wasn't delegating, and I was finding myself working 14, 15 hours all the time, making myself sick because I was working on the weekends. And before you knew it, my son was 14 and 15 years old. I'm like, wait, where did my little kid go?
Yeah.
So one of the greatest things was being able to delegate more so I would have more time with my son. And then in my business, figuring out my target market. The target market class that I took was huge for me because I was wasting so much time doing these little jobs far away. And I learned in the class about, how do you find doing jobs that are the jobs that you enjoy, the people that you enjoy doing business with, and figuring out if that's actually making the right money for you. Where are you making the most money? And that target market class helped me figure that out. And that's been really great. Those are two things that have been really great for me. Time management. I've always been really bad with time management, and just taking those courses to get me to learn a little bit more about how I can change my time, then I can be able to do all the things that I enjoy and love in life. So it's been great for me.
Excellent.
Awesome. Excellent. So is there one thing that I would consider maybe a little bit more eye-opening? Was there something that you've kind of never done before that maybe you would like to share?
Yes. So the ECC, the emotional charge connection, it was huge for me, and it has been huge ever since that day in Petaluma that I was probably one of the last people in the class to do my ECC. Every week I just, oh no, I'm not ready yet. Oh, I'm not ready yet. Every week. I'm not ready yet. Finally, it gets down to the last class. You got to be ready. So I did my ECC. I was bullied as a kid. I grew up in an area where there weren't very many Black kids. And so I was teased and bullied for a long time, called stupid. I'd never amount to anything because of the color of my skin. So telling that story to people and explaining to them how going through that and making these changes in my life, music is what got me out of that depression that I was in as a kid. And I got to tell that story to a bunch of strangers in this room, and it changed my life forever. I've been telling that story as often as I can. I tell it to my clients. I tell it when I have speaking engagements, and I'm able to get people that connect with me in a deeper level. And it's been a very special thing, very difficult to express, but now that I've been doing it more and more, it feels really good to be able to share that type of thing with people.
And
can I just jump in and add one thing?
course.
Because I love that story. That's incredible. And I have this on my desk, and I've had it on my desk for, 15 years. Success is the best revenge.
Ooh. Can you mail me one of those? I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've spent my whole life proving those bullies wrong. And
Yeah.
I'm thankful for it in many ways, because I've been able to achieve so much because I've spent my time, proving them wrong. I am not stupid,
Yeah.
I'm not ugly. I could do these things. And so, yeah, I love that so much.
Yeah. Good for you.
nice.
Thank
Nice.
you
Go
very
ahead,
much.
Mike.
Well, Letitia, you've got an amazing business right now. We're so proud of you as a person. We've actually personally experienced your work, and your company has done our roof here. Well, with all of that success, what's next on your path?
Oh, wow. Well, literally the rest of my life, I just want to spend it helping people. It's been one of the things that have been really important to me, is just being able to find different ways that I can help others and help others succeed, whether it's young people or people of color. I just really want to be able to spend time helping other people the rest of my life, really.
Awesome.
Okay. My turn?
Yep, your turn, Ivan.
Something really near and dear to my heart is our philosophy in BNI of Giver's Gain. And I understand that you created a foundation, the Lime Foundation. Now, it's not really about citrus, is it?
Not really. It's the Lime actually is my son's name spelled backwards. So my son's name is Emil.
Oh,
So when he was younger,
so
he was
cool.
also, I know, right? See?
Yeah.
And people always think about oranges and limes and lemons. I'm like, nope, it's not. It's my kiddo. And he was bullied as well as a kid. So before I started the nonprofit, I was trying to come up with a name, something that meant a lot to me, something I would work really hard for the rest of my life. Why not my kiddo, right?
Yeah.
He was bullied as a kid. Kids used to tease him and call him Lime because his name was spelled backwards. And I taught him that that is a form of bullying and that he needs to stick up for himself. So that's why I called it Lime Foundation, so I could work very hard for it.
I love it. That's a great story, and that's a great name for the organization because it's got history behind it. It's
It
not
does.
it's not just a fruit. It's. I mean, I think it's great.
Thank
So,
you.
what does your foundation do, and how does it help, and who does it help?
Well, one of my programs is a senior program. My parents have been ill most of my life, whether it's diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and I wanted to help seniors be a little healthier. So I have a program where we get seniors a nutrition program and also an exercise program, so that way they could be a little healthier. And we do that around Sonoma County. And then I have a Turner Arts program. Turner's my maiden name, and that's basically a summer program and an after-school program for young people that also have gone through some of the same things that I've been through most of my life, and now they can channel all that positive energy into something positive like visual arts, creative arts, music, performing arts. And so we do that program at a couple different locations in Sonoma County. But my favorite program I have to mention is my Next Gen Trades Academy. As a contractor, it just turned out that it's hard to find other young people that want to be roofers. So I got together with a bunch of my local contractors, mainly all in BNI, Jason Chris Electric, Fondari Construction. I just said, hey guys, can we talk? I want to figure out how we can help young people get into the construction trades because that's a huge gap. And they're like, okay, we're in. And I started this program in a couple different high schools around Sonoma County, and we bring that program there, and the contractors actually come in and speak to the students about opportunities that they have in construction. And we've had 71 students graduate from the program, and 47 of them have been hired full-time. So it's been great.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
so
My favorite.
stories are really powerful. Do you have a story that stands out to you regarding one of the kids?
Oh my gosh, I could be here all day. You guys, we could be here all day. One story that I love the most, one of my female, we have very few females. So I've been really working hard on getting more females in the construction industries. And one of my females came from a mother who was very mentally ill, attempted suicide. It's been a huge challenge for her most of her life. And she wants to be an engineer. And she went through our program, worked really, really hard, and we got her hired at one of the top engineering firms, who's in BNI, by the way, BC Engineering. They hired her to come on as soon as she graduated from our program. Many of our students are all disadvantaged youth. They come from poor backgrounds of parents that are drug addicts or not present. And most of these students just need an opportunity and to know that they can do something amazing. And so I could be here telling stories all day long. It's really beautiful.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, I guess what you're doing has caught some attention. I understand there was a celebrity that came and visited you recently. Someone by the name of Michael Rowe, the host of Dirty Jobs. And he also has a
Facebook Watch.
the Facebook Watch. And the name of that show is on
Returning the Favor.
Returning the Favor. So tell us how that all happened. How did Mike Rowe come up to see you and say,
oh my gosh. It was such a huge surprise. Last year, I did this special for Square, the credit card people. They did a Women in Business for Women's History Month in construction, and they did this whole commercial that went nationwide. And so someone from the Returning the Favor show saw that commercial, and they made contact with me. She's like, I'm Oprah Winfrey's former producer. We want to do a documentary on people doing good things in their community. And I'm like, oh, how cool. And she's like, yeah, we've been hearing about this Lime Foundation. So for almost a year, we were talking, going back and forth about this, doing multiple interviews. And finally in December, I get the call saying, hey, we received the green light to do this documentary. They never said what it was. So it was supposed to be on me. And then they came to film at the end of February, and I'm on a job site with my guys, and the film crew is filming me. They're like, oh yeah, talk to your guys. And some guy comes up behind me saying, are you Letitia Hanke? And I'm like, Yeah. And he was like peeking over this fence. And then he comes around the corner and he's talking to me. I'm like, wait, I know you. And it was Mike Rowe. And we spent the whole day together. And I thought he was on my show. I thought he was on my dog the whole day. So at the end of the day, I'm supposed to be going to band practice. I'm a drummer in the band. And at my church, and we're at my church, and I show up there, and Mike walks me into the church, and the next thing I know, hundreds of my friends and my family are in the church cheering and yelling. I'm almost fainting because I have no idea what's happening. And it turned out that I was on his show called Returning the Favor, where they give wonderful gifts. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
They give gifts, and I'm here on the stage, and he's explaining to me what they're doing, and he revealed a whole bunch of wonderful gifts that he gave to our students, for our students, to help for our students that train through our trades academy. And he had a special gift for me, and it was just a really beautiful special thing for us. So it was really great.
Yeah, we actually got to see it, Ivan. It was amazing. It was absolutely
I
amazing.
saw you guys. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was so shocking, but it was really fun.
Wow,
And
that's amazing.
Letitia-
And I'm sure it's probably, you can go back to Facebook and watch it, yeah?
Yeah, you'll be able to watch it. It's going to be airing either this month or in May. They're working on getting it ready for this month in April. So
I want
hopefully
to
it'll
watch
be out
it.
really soon.
And Letitia, what is that going to mean to you in your foundation?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I got to get this out. My dream is to be able to do this program all over the world, all over the country, really. And as like a co-owner model, so that way I can have training in many different schools and high schools and locations that need this type of training for workforce development. And this will give us the outreach that we're missing. We need contractors, we need the people that are willing to do the training, and now we'll have that opportunity to have that reach that we wouldn't normally have before. So millions of people will see this show and know that we're doing this program. And so when I retire from roofing, this is what I want to do the rest of my life, is train these young people and help these young people further their lives.
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So I got a question for you, Letitia.
Sure.
This is just between us, okay?
Okay.
There's nobody else. Is Mike as cool as he seems to be? Because I've seen his shows and he seems really cool, but just us, nobody else is going to hear this, is he?
He's super rad. He is so funny. We literally, it was almost like we've known each other for a long time. We were just going off of each other, joking and laughing about all kind of things the whole day. And he was just really down to earth and a lot of fun. And he talked a lot about his life as well, opened up to me a little bit about the things that he went through as a kid as well. It was a very special moment, and it felt really great. So he really is a great guy.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I love his shows, and now I'm definitely going to watch this Facebook show.
Oh, yes.
So, hearing your passion, I know you have to have a vision for what you want with the Lyons Foundation. Can you share that with us?
My vision is to help as many people as I possibly can through this program. These young people that have no direction, they are lost. They're lost, and they just need one person that can come to their rescue. And I want to be that one person. Yeah. That's my vision.
Oh, that's an awesome vision. And I appreciate you sharing it with us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And so, all right, so besides helping all of these people, the one thing that we know about vision is when you have a big vision, and you sound like you have a very big vision. I would expect nothing less, by the way. What will you be doing? Like, what does a day in the life of Letitia look like once all of these things are happening across the nation?
Wow. Well, I'll finally take a vacation. That's
Yay!
Wow. Really, I feel like this is the part of my life where I finally get to relax, and I finally get to do the things that I love and enjoy the most in life. And really, I'll be looking for this opportunity to change others' lives. And it changes my life as well, but I'm looking forward to just changing other people's lives. And that's really that's the most important thing for me, really, at this point. That's all I really want to do for the rest of my life. So
We're really proud of you, Letitia.
thank you
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely. Can I just say one other thing? We all have people that are in our story, people that have changed our life in some way or another. But to me, the thing that I think is most important is not who's in our story, but whose story are we in? Whose life have we changed? And what I'm hearing from you is that you're changing people's lives, and you're in a lot of people's stories. Good for you.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Awesome. Well, we believe that this is going to be a very powerful moment in Letitia's, not only in her life, but in her business. Returning the Favor will be out soon, and so we will be getting that date to all of you. But we want to thank Ivan, Mike, Letitia for being on the interview today. And I just want to say I've seen her journey. I've seen who she is as a person, and I believe in this woman.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.